Hello everyone, Marcus Stahl here, and this is going to be a quick little casual video going over some of my thoughts on picking a career for virtual reality. In the past, I've always felt a little bit adamant or reserved about answering questions in this regard, since I personally didn't really have any intentions of going to college. However, as some of you may know, I actually did apply to college recently, and I'm going to be majoring in electronic engineering, possibly transferring out to another school for biomedical engineering if things go very well for me. But I feel that some of my thought processes and the things that I was looking into when picking out that career could serve some of you very well, since I find in the comments that quite a few of you actually ask questions about the subject. So that's the purpose of this video. And do note, I'm going to be going over the more technological side of virtual reality as compared to the software side, or more or less than this video is going to be the reality aspect versus the virtual aspect, since really with the virtual or software aspect, there's just so many ways you can help out that really just going into even a small little bit of it is going to take a lot of time. And by comparison, while going over the technological aspect is by no means going to be a very simple subject, it is a little bit more objective and a lot easier to deal with. So I hope you'll understand the reason why I decided to hold back off on the software side. Okay, well then let's get this started off with the number one career I pick out for virtual reality. Quite simply, Biomechatronics. For those of you wondering what Biomechatronics even are, it is a degree or a major really that is a mixture of various different engineering disciplines all mixed together into one in order to serve a particular purpose. In this case, it is a mixture of electronic, computer, mechanical, communications, control, and even medical engineering. The bio, in many respects, refers to another sub-area of engineering, which is really applying all the former types of engineering into the medical field. So there would be something like bioelectronic engineering, whereby you're using electronic engineering to work with the human body, or biomechanical engineering, whereby you're developing mechanical items to be used with the human body. Really, the reason that this degree is just so great for virtual reality is because it targets so many of the different areas that we need for virtual reality technology all in one go. The biomedical aspect tends to deal with the neurological or nervous system aspects that we really need to understand in order to create or take advantage of human intents. The electronic engineering aspects tend to deal with the technology and computer interacting and circuits that we're going to need in order to develop products and applications that can take advantage of virtual reality. The computer engineering is really just going into the software, the firmware, and integrating all this technology together into a package that we can take advantage of within software. And even the mechanical engineering has the benefit that really it allows us to take data and observe it within an environment that we currently are expecting a lot of help in. I mean, you have to understand, guys, by and large, a lot of the development and research that's being done with regards to things like electroencephalography or electromyograms and brain-computer interfaces isn't being done for consumer or entertainment purposes. It is being done with medical purposes in mind for people such as quadriplegics or amputees who have been disabled and require some form of intent-based or neurological system in order to really function the way they used to. As a result, choosing something like biomechatronic engineering really is just going to be the very best and very strongest degree that you could possibly choose if you just want to know as much as humanly possible and be capable of as much as humanly possible in order to work with virtual reality. All that being said, guys, you don't exactly have to choose to be a biomechatronic engineer if you want to help out in virtual reality. Really, picking any one of the sub-disciplines within biomechatronic engineering is probably an even better fit, since really not many universities or institutions have a dedicated biomechatronics engineering degree, as is compared to universities that have biomedical, bioelectronic, or just plain old electronic or mechanical engineering degrees. So your best bet is probably to choose one of those if you really want to have a chance or have the knowledge and tool sets known in your mind in order to help out within the areas of virtual reality. I mean, by and large, guys, it's unlikely that just a single person is going to develop the virtual reality device we all want. I mean, even in Sword Art Online, Kayaba Akihiko did technically have a team working with him in the development of the Nerve Gear, guys. On the note of SAO, for anyone wondering, yes, biomechatronics is very similar to the regular mechatronics that Kirito mentioned within Sword Art Online, although his application seems to have been focused on integrating the real world and the virtual world together a little bit more, so focusing on the mechatronics aspect instead of the full-on biomechatronics was probably in his best interest. Although at the same time, Kayaba did kind of basically complete or finish most of what we really needed in the regards to the bio aspect in that case, so it could just be that he decided, that guy basically covered all of that. But maybe that's just my 2 cents. Okay, then now the next best area I'd probably have to suggest for virtual reality development or careers is, well, software development. I mean, I said I really wouldn't go into this all that much since really it deserves its own separate topic. But just to cover it lightly, there are some more technical areas whereby software development will be handy, namely in integrating virtual reality technologies into the consumer or regular computer environments that we currently have. So development of things such as drivers, tools, plugins, and other such things is definitely going to be helpful. And we have to consider that a lot of the current software that we have right now, just plain old, is not very good in virtual reality. So a lot of stuff is going to have to be remade in order to properly take advantage of virtual reality. So in many respects, it means that every single little bit of software is going to have to take some readjustments. So companies are going to be in the need for engineers to start taking all their old software and converting it into software that can be used within virtual reality in a very comfortable fashion. So yeah, just that quick little note. The next career I'd probably recommend is physics, because in all honesty, guys, even though we have some pretty decent technologies right now for interfacing with the human body, it's unfortunate to say, guys, but we just do not have the technology necessary in order to really achieve some of the finer things that we want to do within a neurological interface. And that's mainly because of our understanding of things such as physics. So the better an understanding we have of the properties of light, waves, sound, and all sorts of other worldly phenomenons, the better we're going to be able to manipulate them within tools. I mean, in many respects, the electronic engineers and the other types of engineers are the ones that are probably going to execute on this knowledge, but without the knowledge to have the tools made in the first place, they aren't exactly going to be able to get very far now, are we? So it's just a quick little suggestion that if you really do choose to go into this area, it would definitely be of benefit into the larger and broader area of virtual reality in some capacity, although I do have to note that this is a little bit of a wild card, since really we aren't necessarily too sure that we're going to find anything that can do the things that we want to within virtual reality. So if you go into this area, just know that you might not necessarily get the kind of payout that you're looking for within virtual reality, even in this century, if at all. But then again, you never know. You might just turn out to be the next Kayaba Akihiko and discover a principle about microwaves that allows it to be used within virtual reality or the neurological areas. I mean, you have to consider, guys, within the essay of narrative, Kayaba wasn't a biomechatronic engineer. He was a physicist. So, yeah, just some food for thought. Alright, guys, time for the last little listing here. And the last area I'd suggest for virtual reality development is neurology. And I say that not only as an ordering of this video, but also in terms of actual priority, guys. I mean, it's often said in my comments, and even possibly in my own past comments, that neurology is probably one of the better areas to go for if you want to go into virtual reality. And I kind of have to agree with this on some points. Because the thing is, guys, at some point in the future, we are going to need a lot more understanding of the way the human brain works, and neurologists are the ones that are going to provide that knowledge. The only problem is, for the most part, that information isn't really going to be of any helpful or real use any time in the near future until we manage to develop an instrument that can take advantage of it. Right now, even if we had a perfect understanding of how the brain works, we wouldn't really be able to take advantage of it all that well, since our technology just doesn't allow us to do so. This is the reason why I listed all the others before this one, because quite simply, all the others are necessary to be done before we can really make advantage or have a use for the areas of neurology. At this point in time, the only real uses I can see for being a neurologist in virtual reality is helping out the electronic engineers and other types of engineers in figuring out ways to take advantage of the data that is being produced from their tools, or in order to understand what the data even is, like what's going on, what is this alpha wave, where is it coming from, what does this neurological area do, stuff like that. So while it will definitely have a very big role in the future, if you do not have the patience to try to wait out till that point in time, this probably isn't going to be for you. However, if you do, I wish you the very best of luck, since really a lot of times, whenever people are asked or scientists are asked, what is the most complicated thing in the universe, the answer tends to be the human brain. So, yeah, the best of luck to you. Well then, everyone, that just about does it for this video. I do hope that you managed to get something out of it, even with this formatting here, just watching my suck completely at Borderlands 2 in the background. Do remember to rate, comment, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and in order to help out the channel. Also, do remember to follow me over on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with my latest activities, or on the Virtual Dreamers blog in order to get some exclusive content that I just do not have the time to create whole videos for. Well then, everyone, thank you very much for watching. This has been Marcus Dahl, logging out.